What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. Now today I am in, if you can see behind me, the G63 Mercedes AMG. Just want to say a massive thanks to Sophie for letting me borrow her car for the afternoon. I've got it for a couple of hours, so I'm going to give you the ins and outs, I'm going to show you around and take it for a spin. So the G63 AMG, it has got 20-inch wheels on this one. A little bit dirty, but black with chrome outer edging, the 5 double spoke on this with the red AMG brake calipers. Needs big brakes on this because it's a 2 and a bit ton Hesse. Positioning as well, if I sat in here, if you look, paddle shifts are in a great position. They sort of, I've got quite large hands, but I can almost reach the middle of the steering wheel when holding, so people with small hands can still reach them. All this old school telephone bits and pieces isn't something you see generally on a car these days. Tight in here because it is a big box, but as you can see from me being in here, it's quite well shaded. We've got the good setup. Feels quite sporty for as much as a box type car it is, but it does give some grunt. It's got 540 horse, well, just under. It's got 536, but it's also got 560 newton meters, but that's powered by the twin turbos it's got strapped to this 5.5 litre V8, so it is a beast of a car. It is a beast, so don't be too alarmed by the power. I would say the throttle response isn't like a sports car, but it's great nonetheless. It's running the Harman Kardon speaker system in here. It's quite well spec'd. It's got the Alcantara roof lining, don't know if you can see that. And it's got the leather Designo seats as a higher spec, rather than generally you can get cloth, so it's a little bit of an upgrade on this one. It's 2015 model, so it's a few years old now, but it still gives a bang. It still gives a, well, I wouldn't say a bang, it gives a rumble, the V8 rumble from the AMG. It's the one I've always loved. I've always wanted to try this G63 out, because the V12 doesn't give the rumble, it gives that rumble like the C63 and the W05 engine. The V12, you don't see many of them around, but it just gives that a little bit extra, I think, in the V8. They're more desirable in my eyes. I haven't got it on at the moment, but if you look, it's got the 7-inch screen up here like it's got on a lot of the other Mercedes AMGs. It's got all the differential modes, which you got setting 1, 2 and 3. It just changes up the diff locks on this car. It's got heated seats in here and climate control, which is always nice when it's really hot like it is today. This has got the sort of the smart drive where you work through all the systems. It's also got a traditional handbrake, which you don't see a lot these days because it's got these stupid buttons. But this is the gear stick, change it into the gear, low range, parking, etc., which is always good. It's quite highly spec'd, this model. If you look in the back here, it's quite a lot of room, good sort of headspace. I'll show you from another angle. So as a car, I would say it has a good amount of room in here. I mean, I've been driving in the front, so this car has got enough legroom for me. It's got enough headroom. I've probably got like 2 or 3 inches above my head. It doesn't feel cramped. I've been in a lot of 4x4s because it's a box. For that reason, I'd say this is a bonus. And keeps the tradition with the buttons on the back. And a good size back for, I thought it would be bigger, but it's got a good size. It's got this protective mesh cage if you're carrying anything with any sort of sizing. I guess it's to lock things down into these harnesses here. If you look from this model, I'll put up a picture now of the latest one. You can see the update facelift on the front. It's just a massive difference. It's got a nice heated, it's got memory seats on this side. It's also got one of these handles if you're going off-roading. So like these AMG sills inserts on the side. It's a little bit dirty, this car, but it's designed to be a little bit dirty. To give it a real slam to close the doors. But as you see, it's also got heated seats in the back, which you don't see often at all. I think the last thing we can do now is, well, one, check out the engine bay, and 2, take it for a spin. What I would say is don't ever try and touch the metal on undoing this spring from the bonnet when it's 28 degrees or more. So, crafted by Marco Faber, Germany. They have all their crafted engines. They have the manufacturer builder sign the engine. So if you have a Mercedes AMG, have a look under the bonnet and see who's built your engine for your car. Welcome, oh yeah, to the G63 AMG. Today it's going to be a good day. The sun is shining. We're in the G63 AMG, the 5.5 litre V8 twin turbo. Thanks for taking this ride with me, guys. Now today, feel that power. Just feels a bit, it feels very stuck to the road. It's just got that drivability. It's four-wheel drive. It's got 36 horsepower. It's not very good mile per gallon, but when you've got this car, you don't really mind too much. It's a bit of a box. There's a lot of body roll, but it's a cool car to be in. It's got that road presence that you always would want to have. It was about £120,000 spec'd up, but you can pick ones up obviously a little bit less. But this car, if you were to buy the new one, they're like 150 fully spec'd, depending on if you want another pack on it, like Urban or Holofe, or even just a general extra pack on top of the Mercedes price tag. It can be quite an expensive car, this, and it's got a lot of characteristics that people love about it. It's got that box feel, it's high up, it's safe, it's well built, it's got a strong engine, it sounds great. I mean, there's so many positives to this car, it's unbelievable. But it's also like, you can fit 5 people in it, you can take it on long journeys. Yes, you're going to fuel up a lot of times, but I can't see many negatives, because obviously people say, oh, it's not very fuel efficient and it's just a guzzler, it's a Chelsea tractor. Well, yeah, it might be, but everyone has their own take on it. I don't really like the driving part of this, because you're not driving. I prefer the sports car side of thing, but as a 4x4, it drives very well. It's got a rigid chassis, as much as it's got a bit of body roll, but that's more the suspension side of things, because if you want to take it off-road, it's got all the off-road settings, different differential locks, but it doesn't feel like you're going the speed limit, which is kind of crazy. It's got that deception because it's so big. You just don't get that feeling. Like, you turn in, it has got, you feel a little bit like it is rolling this way, but at the same time it does feel fairly rigid. But my bonus to this car is that it sticks to kind of its heritage. It's been running over 35 years now, and it hasn't really changed too much, but it's had some subtle upgrades over the years, and it still sticks up with its competitors that might be more fuel efficient, but Germans have stuck to their guns, love their engines, love their noise, love their build quality, and that's what they're all about. But for me, it's the noise which is fantastic. It's got 560 Newton meters of torque, which for me, that's where it gets exciting. You get to put your foot down, and no matter how heavy the car is, it's weighing in over 2 tons, it actually moves. It has its opportunity to move in the ability that you might not think it should be. And a learner's just pulled in front of me. 0 to 60 time, 5.3 seconds. And that's quick in this thing. That's really quick. I don't think it needs it, but it's an excuse just to put your foot down and let the car just take off. But you don't need to in this type of car. It has a road presence. It has that, wow, what's that? It's because it's quite a large car. It has that road presence that a lot of cars don't tend to get, such as the car that you might think it might be a competitor of, like the Porsche Cayenne. Porsche Cayenne doesn't really get people turning their heads. The X5M, same sort of thing. They're the two competitors in my eye, but they don't really turn heads because they're just like their other models. Mercedes have such a large range of models. They've got the now they've got the GLE, they've got the GLC, they've got the, well, they used to have the ML, now they've got as well as the GLC, GLE, they've got GLS, they've got so many different SUV 4x4s, and then they do the G-Wagon. So you just get people looking at you, and plus obviously the noise this car produces, second to none. It's four-wheel drive, so if you were going off-road, I guess it would be quite a good car to use. It's 5 years old now, 2015. I don't think it's done too bad. It's in good condition. It's done just over 27,000 miles, which I think isn't actually that much. It's just for pottering around in, really. And as a lot of people would say in the UK, it's like a Chelsea tractor. Thanks guys for tuning in to another great episode with Car Talks. Now I hope you enjoyed this one. I know I did. The great G63 AMG, that V8, that twin turbo, that power, it's incredible. Now I just want to say a massive thanks for people who are watching this, people that will be watching this, but please don't forget to smash that like button, don't forget to write a comment, tell me what you think, and also don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Very much appreciated. I hope you enjoyed the ride, and I'll see you next time. Enjoy.